Monday morning, 8:24, 8:30. You're about to see Maine in all its glory. What a pretty sight. Zoom in now. Lakes, clouds, evergreens. That's what you have in Maine. August 26th, we're on top of Saddleback Junior, 3,640 in elevation. You can see it's a heck of a view up here. See a long way. Good or bad news is right here, there's Saddleback Senior. Those are the two mountaintops we got to go over. They're 4,000 footers. That's where we're headed, folks. As you can probably see, the wind is kind of high. So it's August 27th, about 5:30 in the evening, and I wanted to record this video because today was kind of significant. So the two hikers that I've got the privilege of hiking with, Jitter and Silver Fox, well, this afternoon they crossed a major milestone. And here it is. So think about it. Each of them in the last 5 months have walked over 2,000 miles, carrying the gear on their back for shelter, food, water, you name it. And that is some type of accomplishment. So they're closing in. Mount Katahdin is, well, it's getting closer every day. And for the past week, we've been fortunate to have two of Silver Fox's good friends up over here in with us, helping us with our daily chores and helping with the logistics of the thru hike. And that would be Paul and Ken. And Ken was kind enough to make a spaghetti dinner last night, garlic bread. It was outstanding. He assists a great deal on everything. Sherpa Paul is well, he's exemplary. French toast is his specialty in the morning. Me, I'm in charge of the coffee. I take my job very seriously, and if I do say so myself, I do it quite well. But to give you an idea of what a day looks like out here when we have a Paul and a Kenny to support us, we do a lot of slack packing in the last week. Slack packing is where we don't have to carry a full pack. We take basically a day pack. You know, enough food and water, you know, you toilet paper, you take the essentials. But you don't have your sleeping gear, you don't have your tent or your, you know, your hammock or anything like that. So it really lowers the weight of the pack. Probably carrying around 10 pounds today versus 30, 35 pounds, which would be normal. And I got a rock slab. So, you know, today was typical. Up at 5 a.m., packed up, got out, and Paul went to take us and drop us at the same place that he dropped us yesterday. Yesterday, when he dropped us off this fire road, we headed south, and today we headed north. Well, today, trying to get to where the drop-off point was, a doggone tree had blown over. And there was no way to get the Suburban through it or around it. So the four of us, Jitter, myself, Silver Fox, and Paul, could not move this tree simply because of how big it was, where it had fallen, and where the ball of the tree was. Well, Paul had stopped after dropping us off yesterday at a, quote, local museum, which was down the road, and it was in a farmhouse. And Paul says, well, let's go back there and see if this guy's there and see if he's got a chainsaw we can borrow. Well, that's what we did. And he did have a chainsaw. So Paul's relationship yesterday from visiting the, quote, local museum where this farmer was paid off today. And we borrowed the chainsaw. Paul cut the tree up, and we moved it out of the way, and we got to the trailhead. Or I should say, we got to the fire road, which then led us to the trail. But in a way, it all worked out. Because with Jitter on point, walking to the trail this morning along the fire trail, we came across this. So that's the first moose that I've seen, and needless to say, we were all pretty excited about that. Later in the day, I came across another moose and got his snapshot through the trees. So 2 mooses in one day. That may be an all-time record, I'm not sure. But it was exciting. And then, like I said, combined with the 2,000 miler today, that's a pretty big deal. So the last item I want to cover is these people I'm hiking with and these 2 Sherpa extraordinaires. They're, you never know it by looking at them, but Jitter is trying to get done with hiking. She's on a deadline. She has a flight at the end of the month. She's going overseas to join her husband, who's in the U.S. Army. So needless to say, she's very focused on getting done because there's a lot of stuff she needs to get accomplished before she moves overseas. And it's very difficult to do that from the trail. Silent Fox, on the other hand, you look at him and you go, what type of vagabond is this guy? Well, truth be told, he's a retired police officer, over 2.5 decades of service. And his good friend Paul, also retired police officer. And Ken, well, he's police and / retired fireman, all from Georgia. So thank them for their community service. Greatly appreciate that. And special thanks really to Paul and to Ken for helping us out this past week. In a couple days they're headed back to Georgia, so we're going to be back to the regular hard routine, but hopefully we got a lot of miles knocked out slack packing and with their assistance, which has been great and made our lives a lot easier. So that's kind of a wrap up, guys, for today. Give you a little bit of what happened today and a little bit of the background of some of the outstanding people that, well, I've been fortunate enough to hike with. So there you go, August 27th, a good day. Cheers.